Today, the Rapides Regional Trauma Center held its 11th annual Trauma Symposium here in downtown Alexandria. The Randolph Riverfront Center hosted the event. Multiple first responders and hospital staff learned more about what they can do to further help trauma victims, especially in rural communities like those here in Cenla. Among this year's new sessions included critical trauma assessment, military medicine lessons, and crush injury treatment management. Trauma patients also spoke about their medical cases and treatment.
I wanted to share my story. I want people to know what happened to me, and not only because the person that hit me was distracted, but because when we go through situations like this, you don't expect it to happen, but it happens. Life happens, and you get up and you keep going.
The survival stories of trauma patients during the symposium provides vital information for paramedics, emergency room nurses, and ICU nurses.